Everybody, I'm Jason Bassett, Outdoor Product Review, and today we are reviewing the Inferno 33 from Martin Archery. Hey, welcome back to our 2016 bow review. Today we're going to review Martin's new bow. Now you guys remember that Martin this year, they had a big fire in their warehouse and lost just about everything. It was really sort of crazy. There was a lot of social media, pour out of heartfelt thought to Martin Archery. They've been in the archery business for years. I mean, going way back into the day where we're shooting limbs that are made out of wood and risers that are made out of wood. So, they've come back, and hence the big fire they had. They came out with the bow called the Inferno. So the Inferno 33. Real quick, let me shout out to our sponsors. We got Sitka Gear. It's the best hunting clothing that you could buy. We're using that QAD Ultra Rest. By far, I've shot them even way before they were sponsoring my reviews, and I just love the Quad Ultra Rest, or QAD. Just full containment rest, drop away, that just works perfect. We're shooting the Victory Armor Piercing Arrow from Victory Archery, and the VAP is what it's called. As you guys saw, I had a hog hunt a couple weeks ago, or last week, and I just was putting those things through bores like it was crazy. I actually broke one by hitting the hog log that we're hunting over, and the pig took off, but he didn't go hardly anywhere. It was just a great hunt all the way around. All right, and another sponsor this year we have is Chair Pack. Chair Pack's that backpack that turns into a chair. It's really an awesome concept, and I utilize it coming out here with all my camera equipment, and I put my tripods on the side. I utilize it going fishing. I put all my taco stuff inside. I usually go turkey hunting or hunting. I took it down to Texas with me, sitting in the blind all day. You got a chair right there, and then you just throw it on when you're leaving. So, no further ado, let's get on with this bow review. All right, so the Inferno 33, hence the 33 is 33 inches axle to axle. They have a couple of different models that are out there, but this one's 33. It's got a 6.5-inch brace height. So to give it a little bit of speed, it's got that shorter brace height. But I tell you, it's got a really long riser on it, which makes for forgivability. When you're shooting a bow, a long riser with short limbs, even if it's a short brace height, it's still going to give you a nice forgiving shot. The IBO on this bow is 333 feet per second. It's just amazing in the last 20 years how far archery's come. Back to get over 300 feet per second back in the day was a miracle. And you can adjust the draw from 26.5 inches to 30 inches on this bow. The only down thing I would have to say about it is that it's just a little heavy. It's like 4 pounds and 6 ounces. It's over that 4-pound mark, but we're going to shoot it. I'm not made up. So the Inferno 33, it's the Phenix series of their bows. Just a little heavy, but other than that, a good heavy bow is going to make it quiet. Okay, so the cams on the bow are the Symmetry M4 cams. Now, these things are really made up of numerous different modules throughout. You have your cables riding on their own tracks, the main string riding on its own track. It's just sort of connected all at different areas here. And that might, and once we get into how these little rings work, it's going to show you that there's going to have no cam lean or torque on it. So getting into these zero quad rings, there's 4 rings on it, so 0 quad. All that does is the cable or the string that's attached to the cam independently rolls from the rest of the system. So you're not going to have that cam lean or any kind of torque on there because it's rolling with the ring that it's set into. That's something that's sort of neat. It has this wide riser up here. It's really thick at the top, and the limb pockets are thick, and that's used to absorb a lot of the vibration of the shot, not put it down into your hand, but get rid of it up here at the top of the limbs. You got like a limb vibration dampeners in the riser at the top and the bottom, plus the ones that are inside the limbs here, you can see. And then your STS system has a bow jacks on the back. Yeah, it's got big rubber sound vibration dampeners on the string and cable system itself. Now the limbs are what they call stack force limbs. They're Gordon glass limbs. They call them stack force. They're actually they're shaped at a different angle, and it's supposed to be able to just deliver all that energy right into the arrow. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and do that draw test. So I got the VAP on here, as you guys can see. set up in my QAD. We're going to draw this bow. It's pretty smooth. I wasn't sure how it was going to be with all these the rings and stuff, but I could see how the rings really play of a not putting any kind of cam lean on there, because they're independently drawn off of the off their own system. You know, I do see a little bit of the cable touching the STS system, but that's but you know, then again, it's touching STS system, but your cables are independent on these the rings. So let's go ahead and let's do creep forward. Well, I can go quite a way. It's not wanting to move. It's just sort of stuck there. Say side to side. Yep, no cam lean. Doesn't really move. All right, I'm going to touch my two fingers together. There wasn't any hand shock whatsoever. The bow sort of just stayed right there. Definitely was quiet. I did hear my rest hit the riser, but you know, I've talked to you guys how to close that up. Wow. It was really smooth. The arrow flew down there perfect. So of course, you know, the bow's tuned. I tune it, I laser tune it before we leave the house. And but yeah, it shot really pretty. I was a little concerned because the cable was touching the STS system here. This lower cable was touching this. But then again, and I want to show you the ring here. This ring independently covers both of these strands of the cable. So it might touch the STS here, but it's not affecting the cam at all. So that was my only concern. But I'll tell you, let's shoot this through the chronograph, and I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, so we're gonna shoot that Inferno, 30 inches, 70 pounds, got a 440 grain VAP on there, 274 feet per second. Okay, so there you go, 274 feet per second out of the Inferno 33. That's the Phenix series from Martin Archery. Phenix being the bird that rises out of the ashes. So, you know, I tell you, the bow's very smooth to shoot. It's super quiet, no noise whatsoever. I just was a little concerned of that cable rubbing along the STS system here. It doesn't affect the flight. The flight of the arrow is just beautiful. Just make sure your bow's tuned, and it's perfectly tuned. And you know, it's a great shooting bow. That long riser really makes it where you can become the arrow. The only thing I have to say is that 4.6 pounds, it's a little heavy. There's probably numerous ways they can do it, maybe even getting rid of one of the limb dampeners within the riser, and you know, get it down to that magic 4 pound mark. But you know, this is their first bow they come out with after the big fire, and hands down, I have to hand it to them. It is a great looking bow, and it shoots really nice. A great shooting bow. It'd be great for 3D and target and hunting, you know, as well. You can get these in Cryptek camo and in black here, and I'm sure they have some numerous other camo patterns you can do or get some custom dips on it. But definitely all around great shooting bow. Shoots really smooth. Like I said, just that little bit of weight. Not the fastest thing in the world, but definitely delivers some consistency and great flight of the arrow. So for Outdoor Product Review, I'm Jason Ballas. We'll see you guys on our next bow review.